I think I'm live. Hello everybody. Happy Saturday. Let's see. See if I see anybody show up. I think I am live. It says live. Okay. Oh, there she is. Hey Shazaz22. I was just laughing with Ruth. Ruth. Elizabeth Ruth. Where's you at? There you are. Got it. Told her that she was being scammed and the lady says, what are you gonna do about it? So I told her we're gonna send our tactical stealth division out. We're gonna chop him up in pieces tonight. That was just funny.
No, do you know?
What are we gonna do about it, Ruth? What are we going to do about it?
Let me explain it to everybody that I've been dealing with somebody on emails and she sent me a picture. Nothing else, just a picture. But it was somebody, a man we don't know the name of, but you know, he's used a lot on oil rig scams. So I told her this. We talked a little bit. And I told her, hello, Janice. And I told her, you know, it was a scam, blah, blah, blah. All the rest, gave her the advice. Do you know what her answer was? So, is something going to be done about this? Yeah, we're going to put tracking devices on all scammers and they're going to blow up at midnight.
We're going to blow them up.
Come on. We can't be there to hold everybody's hand. There is one way, only one way to get out of a scam, and that is you doing it.
Yep. It can't be done by us. It can't be done by the government. It can't be done by anybody else. No technical team. It can be done only by the victims, by the rest of the world. To stop talking to them. Period. That's it. I mean, why is that not just going like to blowing everybody's mind?
Yeah.
Just stop talking to them, and guess what? It stops. The scam stops.
Really works. You know, because Denise was saying earlier that, you know, she'd seen sort of stranger danger on a few of the groups. Stranger equals danger, which is how you usually put it. Mm-hmm. And it's so simple. It is absolutely so simple. Yep. You know, and the thing is that we can only advise. We can't stop you talking to strangers. I mean, I wish we could, but we can't stop you accepting them. People come to us and say, right, you know, I've been talking to somebody, and so we talk about it. How do I know that? Is it, oh, hello, Sunderland? How do I know, you know, for future if they're going to be a scammer? You know,
sometimes
how many men? I know. How many men does everybody know in their lives who sit there and think, oh, she looks nice. I'm gonna, you know, especially when they sort of like, you know, just finished at the gym. I think I'll go and find myself an old lady on Facebook. Sometimes, you know, sometimes they use older people, older men on older women. And
what did she say? I've been a
knucklehead. You both, and I apologize. I love you both. We never take offense at anything. Honestly, we don't. We've had everything thrown at us. We're real people, we actually know and accept and know that nobody means it. But yeah, you know, it's sort of. I got one earlier, and he must have been taken straight from blooming Harper's Magazine. He was stood there in his suit, and you know, he was about 30. You know, with his and his opening thing was, hello, gorgeous.
Oh,
I really need you. Well, sadly, I closed the account. So I wanted to close the account at the point he was talking to me, you know, because it's the nearest I can get to watching him. So I did. But, you know, it's just who in anybody's right mind would look at that and not think, you know, that there was something wrong. But, you know, the thing is, everybody, it's not up to me and Pam. It's not to all the other ladies on Scam Haters to stop this. We are educating. We are raising awareness. And by that, we hope that more people will find out about scams. More people will, if you're in the beginning of a scam and you do find us and come to us and we tell you it's a scam, we hope you get out. Because what happens? Oh, hello, Pauline. Aloha. It's Pauline in Hawaii. What happens?
Nice. If that was there.
When we said, yeah, I think we should be. When we said to people, it's a scam, get out of it, what do they say?
How do you know? He's been so nice. He's nice. Why would he be a scammer?
Are you sure?
He's never asked me for anything.
No. He's very charming. And, you know, he has asked me to ask for his leave, but he's never asked me for any money. And, you know, so it's sort of, you know, why would we, if somebody came to us and said, I'm talking to somebody, do you think he's fake? And we say yes. Why would we if he wasn't going to be? Because we've had 2 or 3 women, and I will say only 2 or 3, but you know, we've had them where they've met somebody on Tinder or, you know, a dating site. One lady, she'd met this man, and she was from just outside New York, and he was from more inside New York, and he fitted electric switches.
He's an
she showed me his picture, and he was lovely. He really was lovely. And she was saying, but you know, she'd been scammed. She asked me about many that had come to her. She said, but do you really think he's real? I said, yes, I do.
Oh, yeah, you found a real one.
Well, yeah, and it's so
hard.
sad because, you know, women don't then go and trust anybody because they've come across so many scammers.
I don't know what's so hard about the concept of thinking that it's a crime of opportunity. What is the crime? Lying and scamming. What's the reason? Money, power. And I don't understand why the concept of that is so hard to understand, that some gorgeous hunky doodle, when they find you for no reason, I mean, it's not like you have an advertisement out there. I'm looking for someone to talk to. Please send me your friend request. No, it's a stranger. So it's the same thing. Honestly, to me, I believe it's the same thing as knocking on your door at your house. A stranger knocking on your door. So it's a stranger knocking on your door on social media. You don't know them. So why would you all of a sudden start giving away all of your information?
Fancy going to the door and somebody stood there and he says, hello, pretty.
Hello, gorgeous.
And I know you better. You would absolutely freak, you know. And some of them, you see, you know, they have a dog picture and they still come to you and say, hello, gorgeous. And sometimes people come to us and say, I'm talking to this person, but I don't know if he's real. Oh, okay, then we'll send me a picture. Well, he hasn't actually given me a picture yet. He only has dogs. And they've accepted it and they're talking to him. Ladies, we can't help you. If you are going to be that silly, we cannot help you. I'm not talking to a white dog. And I'll tell you what's fun. And we don't agree with talking to scammers. But I have a game.
We do sometimes.
And, you know, when they come to you with red roses, or, you know, in the header or the profile picture.
Yeah.
I always say to them, well, I'm not gay, but I know you'll find somebody. And they come back and say, well, no, I'm not gay. You know, what do you mean? Oh, well, red flowers or white flowers, whatever they've got, on your profile picture means that you're a gay man and you're looking for sex that night, but you'll find somebody. Oh, and because they're Nigerian and they don't like gays, they go absolutely crazy. So it's what, if you're bored, you know, but then block them because they get nasty. But yes, ladies, this is something going to be done about it. Only you can do something about it.
Yep. I had a lady, this one was interesting. It was the first one that I've had in 4 years, and I'm sure you've had it a couple of times though, my first one. And I'm not faulting the lady to some degree. However, the common sense after I had pointed it out to her, she had said, yeah, you're right. So she started out with her man was it Corey? I think it was Corey. Corey, is it Bristol? Corey Bristol?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's a hunky doodle, no doubt about it. I don't care how old I am. He's still going to be a hunky doodle. So, she, of course, fell for a fake Corey Bristol. And who knows how long it went on. She sent a little bit of money here and there. And then somehow, some way, she figured it out, or she blocked him. Months later, guess what happened? The real Corey Bristol.
Oh, yeah.
Just like that.
This one, you told me about this one, yes. So now the scam started all over again?
All over again, because she's talking to the real one, because he told her, I am the real one. Not them, not the other one. And I told her, I said, oh my, for love of God, are you seriously? How absurd is this? And we talked about it. She goes, yeah, you're right. So I don't know what happens to this inside here when this little fake love romance just starts putting everybody in a tailspin. It's sad. It really is sad how we give up our common sense and our free will to complete strangers. I don't know.
Yeah, and you know, also if you think about it, we've got Corey Bristol and we've got Steve Kaufman and we've got Pierre Bonilla.
Yeah.
Happy wedding. And we've got Juan Avalos. Let me think more names I can name drop. Barry Bull. You know, we've got all these men. Now, these men are, to quote my best friend, hunky doodles.
Hunky doodles.
Hunky doodle. And you would have to teach me to say that properly. And you know, and Nick Harjo again, you know, he's a bit, you know, all right as well, isn't he? Even for an old, he's a bit all right. So, but the thing is, if you actually see these people on their Facebook account or their Instagram accounts, they've got hunky doodle wives.
Yeah.
They've all got gorgeous women. So the thing is, you know, you've got somebody that's a lot overweight, over 50, is saying things like, oh yes, but he's looking for a real person. He's doesn't really like all these young people. They let him down. He's looking for a real person. No, dear. He's got a gorgeous woman in his bed every night.
Yeah.
He's not looking for an older, larger lady who's a real person. He's got one. So have some sense. You know, don't just stop believing everything anybody says to you.
It's bad. It's just it's like a wildfire, California wildfire. It's out of control.
Yeah. And what we've had recently, and do you know, it's happened so often that we're starting to get a bit amused about it now. I think it was me and Sophie had it. Yeah, and Corey Bexley's a bit different though. I don't know about that one. But I think it was me and Sophie had it, where we were talking to this woman and she was sending everything back. She was screenshotting our chat and sending it to a scammer.
Ugh.
And then whatever he said, she was screenshotting that and sending it to us. And I'm thinking, I couldn't work out whether she actually believed us or whether she actually believed him. But I thought, why would you? Really?
Yeah.
You know, if you want to tell the scammer what I'm saying about him, fine. If you want to do that, please just tell the scammer to come and talk to me direct.
Yeah.
You know, we can talk about it. You know, as civilized people. But yeah, why would you be the go-between in telling your scammer what Scamhater said?
And what always happens with that? You're asking a scammer, are you a scammer? They're telling me you're a scammer. No, babe, I'm not a scammer. I would never lie to you. Never lie to you.
Yeah, always. I'm real, babe.
Janice says your video keeps interrupting. I swear, I believe that's going to be somebody on the internet.
It's not from here.
No.
Actually, Sharon, I've got a cup of tea. I
I have water.
Sharon.
I have a water. This is the weekend. I work hard outside in the hot heat, so I'm on water.
I'm very English. I've got a cup of Earl Grey tea, which I love. But no, it's just been one of those days. It really has been one of those days that strange things have happened. We've had just before I came on, a lady from Tajikistan.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're getting a lot from that part of the world. We're getting a lot from Russia, a lot from Ukraine, and the Ukrainian women fight. I tell you what,
they're hard to get through. They're like a brick.
They are very, very hard to get through to, and they're insulting. Now, one Ukraine this morning asked me if I was up on the latest scamming from Match.com and all the other places.
Oh.
Because we are idiots. That's her word.
Really? Oh, that would have been fun.
Individual scams do not happen anymore. That's old. Now it is organised scams from the dating sites.
She's the one that were jealous of this, didn't she? Yes, I saw that.
So what's happening is it's not individual scams. It's the dating sites are making up fake accounts and taking the money.
Oh my God, what an idiot. I'm sorry, what an idiot.
What is in the wind across that part of the world?
Ooh.
Wanting to put in touch with, it was actually Lawrence Flores that fell in love with. And very insulting. Oh, you like this. Very insulting because I wouldn't introduce the two of them. And do you know why? Do you know why?
Because you were jealous? Because you were jealous. You know, sometimes you just can't help, you know, silliness.
Now, we do have, you know, we do have a lot of women who want to meet the real men because they have in their mind, thank you, Jane, I'm really, really glad about that. They have in their mind that they're going to talk to the real person. They're going to get on so well.
That he'll fall in love too. Finally, he'll
fall in love when they go. Yeah, it's not a snowball's chance in hell. But that is what, and I can, you know, I can understand because in the scam and in their mind, they know this person so well that so they think. You know, she told me about Lawrence, about what he does, and it was all wrong.
Of course it was all wrong. But it's all in her head.
She was believing what the scammer had said Lawrence does, or what he was doing as Lawrence, you know? And it's all wrong. But it's hard to get that out of people's heads. And I can understand that. You know, I really can, because in their heads, they've built it up and it's real. You know, after the first, not very long, that person is real inside that person's head. So they haven't not met. They walk around the house talking about him, planning. You know, you did it, Pam. When he comes home, you're going to do this.
Yep.
So they become real in your head.
And that's when I fight against these feelings. I mean, it's a horrendous crime. It really is. There's no doubt about it. It is a horrendous crime that takes over your mind, your dreams, your desires, all of that. So when you find out that it is a scam, you got to fight hard just to get yourself back together again. Give a good cry for a little bit, but don't waste any more of those tears. Get angry. I find it easier to get pissed off about this whole fact that it was a crime of opportunity and you let it happen. You did. You have to accept responsibility. Everybody has to take responsibility for their own action. I'm tired of hearing people say that they didn't know, they didn't understand. Yes, you did. There was a part of you, even if it was that much, you still heard those voices, you still question it. Many of you tell and say that you've questioned them, you've asked them about this, and this, but you kept on, or you called them out on this, or you became a real jackass about that, but you continued on. So But
Pam, how many times do we hear, oh, there were red flags, but I ignored them.
Yeah, I ignored them, or he gave me an answer. And it's like, what kind of answer was that? He throws, you tell him, you call him out on this, and why would I be sending money over here if you're over here? Well, he told me that it would be better. It'd be best that way because the agent's over there. And that's okay? That's an answer? That's an acceptable answer? Did it really answer the question? No. It's, you know.
Yeah, I'm in Syria, babe. I need some money for food. Send it to the agent in Nigeria. But you're right. Get angry and let go and move on. And the thing is, and this is controversial because nobody agrees with me. Other do-gooders do not agree with me. If you can love is a very, very powerful emotion.
Yeah.
And it does things to your brain and it makes you go. And when you love somebody, it's really difficult to think badly of them. Something happens to you and you find out you've been in a scam, get angry and hate. And hate is in our title for a reason, because hate is also a natural emotion.
It is.
Get it out. And if you hate and you're angry and you can get it out, to me, and I'm only speaking for myself, to me that's better because, you know, in the days when I used to listen to people saying, you haven't got to hate anybody, you've got to love them no matter what they do to you. You've got to love them. And I used to struggle with that. I used to think, I'm a really bad person because I can't love these people who have done bad things to me. You know, Carol, I wish you'd known us 2 years ago, but we're here. We've been here for a long time.
And
Very, very long time. But yet, someone let it out. Do not struggle with it. Do
no.
not struggle thinking, I shouldn't hate that Nigerian because, you know, he's a poor boy and I really shouldn't hate him. Rubbish. Absolute crap.
Absolute
You
rubbish.
should hate him. And that's a way of getting angry. And that's the way of getting it out of you. Because it's human to be angry.
This is a really horrible crime. I mean, I've seen it go from as small as $50 and a broken heart all the way down to millions and out on the street, you know, and death. So it's a crime. It is an absolute crime. And when most of the time when victims hear this, well, I can't say most of the time, we've heard it a lot. You know, I heard it again last night when I told the lady this is not real. And it's just like, oh, you know, I guess I'm just not going to be able to find anybody. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. That, to me, that is also an emotion, but it's a cop out. It's a sell out, you know, and don't sell yourself short. Not everybody is going to find love. Who guarantees that? And if you have all this negative energy inside and out, who's going to want you? You know, even your family, it's all about you. And taking accountability for your own feelings, your own actions.
Look away.
And if you don't find somebody, then find a way to be okay with that. You know, have some good.
How many times, and I hear this, I've heard it a lot over the years. How many times do we hear that people have found somebody when they stop looking? You know,
all the time.
And they come back and say, you know, I met a man who's a friend of a friend, who's a cousin of a cousin, and we're together now, and he's real, and I appreciate the fact that I've got somebody real, because they weren't hell-bent on meeting anybody. So it's not a case of, I'm lonely, I'm a widow, I want to meet somebody, so anybody will do. Life doesn't work like that. Remember before the internet. Remember before the internet,
Which
when
was 30 years ago.
People were widowed. You know, people were late getting married. People were divorced and on their own with kids. Do you remember before the internet, you couldn't log on and think, oh, he thinks I'm gorgeous. Well, he's a bit of an all right. You know, I'm going to talk to him.
Nope.
You know, life still went on then.
Yeah, you had best friends setting you up on blind dates. You actually had to work at going to find some and meeting new people, you know?
Real people in your life.
Real people.
And you know, and I know that people do find people on dating sites, but on a dating site, if I was going to go on a dating site, I would want to meet somebody who I could go out for a drink with, or I could sit opposite a table with, and I can talk. I don't want to meet somebody that's on an oil rig in the middle of New York, whatever. I once had one on an oil rig in the middle of Manchester, and that's right in the middle of England. But you don't go on you don't go on a dating site to meet some. I know it was different with Pam, because with her, he was going to be close and he went somewhere else. But, you know, we get so many people who say, well, I was on Tinder, I was on Plenty of Fish, I was on bloody Facebook dating, which should be bombed. And, you know, he's on a special mission in Syria. Yeah. Well, what were you going on a dating site for? A special mission in Syria? No, it isn't.
And, you know, it's funny because when you talk to these people that have been on a dating site and get hooked into it in the first couple of weeks, and I always ask I have like 5 questions when I'm interviewing somebody, and one of them is he madly in love with you? And it's been only a couple of weeks, or maybe it's been a month, and the answer is usually always yes. If people fell in love so quickly like that, there would not be any single people in the world. I mean, they're always madly in love. Even in real life, that doesn't even happen, you know? You may get butterflies in your stomach, but on the internet, these scams, and people are falling in love within weeks, within days sometimes.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Life is not like that.
And also, I would be a bit worried in case he snored, in case he had smelly feet, in case he didn't eat his dinner very nicely. You know, I mean, I would think all of these things. I'm sorry. They might look nice, but you know, you don't know the ins and outs of people.
How many scammers will say, I remember mine, I think it was in the first week that he had said, "You seems like everything that I would ever want in a woman." And that, you know, even though I remember stopping going, I haven't told him all that much. How could he possibly know? This was just so weird. It's like, what a weird thing to say. I should have ran for the hills. Wish I did. You know, yep, I had my head up my butt just like the majority of you did. But, you know.
And, you know, I always say, you know, go with the gut feeling, because the head will tell you lies. The heart will definitely tell you lies. The gut feelings, it's the only part of your body that actually does tell the truth. And if you do have gut feelings, call them out on it. Ask them if they're a Nigerian scammer. You know, try and make them get angry with you, because they do get angry. So very
long. Oh yeah, it won't take long. But you know, I also get tired of people telling me that he said I would never. I mean, it was the most common reaction. I would never lie to you. Please don't ever lie to me. I would never lie to you. I was scammed before myself. This is the scammer saying this, and you have to believe it. I want more people to come to the page and ask us. You know, is when they're asking a scammer, "Hey, are you a scammer?" What do you think they're gonna say? You know, it's people are not thinking. They're not thinking.
Last night I had a live chat again with Jacob, and we're going to do another one. Jacob and his chicken nuggets, which I'll never forgive him for.
Chicken nuggets? He had chicken nuggets and he ate them in front of you?
Chicken Phil? We haven't got that here. Well, he was on a break in work.
Oh.
And he had to go and get some food. So he went and ordered these chicken nuggets. Do you know, I can swear I could smell them from here. I had to go and get something to eat when we got But, you know, the thing is that, you know, what I want to say is the fact that Jacob and lots of the other men and the girls are very, very tired. Chick-fil-A, that's it. Chick-fil-A.
Oh, Chick-fil-A. Say it the right way. Come on, you're...
Oh, Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Well, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, you're good.
And he had some, honest, I really could. I could smell it. Really good. When he took one out the packet and ate it, that was me gone. So, you know, but the thing is that another thing that gets me is the fact that poor Jacob has had enough. Now, Jake is lovely, but he's very sensitive, extremely sensitive. And it gets to him. Mm. He might smile. He might just say things like, I wish they'd stop. But it hits him hard. And you know, he has trouble with it. But another thing is that if somebody's got a bad cough, or they've got a sneeze, or you got the toilet too often, you're straight on Google. What's wrong with me? Mm-hmm. Now, they meet a man online, and as Jacob says, I mean, Jacob's only 21-year-old, and he likes to go out, and he likes to socialise, and he likes to meet girls out. You know, he's not looking online for them at all. But then they find out it's a scam. They've paid some money to somebody else. And then they find Jacob and they come and have a go at him. Yeah. They're really nasty to him. They want him. They don't believe it's not him. It has been him because they saw him in a video. They saw him move in a video. Yeah. He was driving. Oh, stupid things. But the thing is, what I want to say is you meet somebody online and fair enough, if you're on a dating site, I would still check them out, but that's me. But if somebody comes to you on Instagram or on Facebook and you talk to them and he's a bit nice and he's a bit polite, but he's a little bit, you know, familiar, and you know, he's before it got anywhere, I would check them out, really. And the thing is that when people do check them out after they've sent money, after they've lost their heart, after they're thoroughly scammed, they find us in 3 minutes, and they find us in 3 minutes, and they find the real men at the same time. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that why couldn't they find them right at the beginning? Yeah. Why would you let it go that long? And then so quickly. You go on any reverse image site, you'll find us.
And that's why I always say, if you find somebody that you're interested in, the first 12 to 24 hours, demand a real-time video chat. Demand it. And then as soon as the video chat starts, within the first 5 seconds, you need to start telling them to wave their hands or to, give you a peace sign, thumbs up. You can't Photoshop that. You cannot Photoshop that. So demand real-time video chats. And if you
But
don't
also,
get it,
look up things like contact from men on oil rig, secret mission in Syria, soldier contacting from Iraq. Because if you just put those simple words, I've done it. If you just put those simple words in Google, it will tell you that you are being scammed.
But I'll save them the trouble of doing that, Ruth. Anytime an oil rig person is saying they're on an oil rig, it's a scam. Anybody that tells you they're active military, it's a scam. Anybody that tells you that they are a doctor, it's a scam. I'll save you the time and research that you need to do.
Yeah.
It's a scam. Period. It's a scam.
So then, what always gets me is you put in man on oil rig, wants money, whatever, and it will come and tell you. And normally it mentions Scam Haters United, and normally people find us and come to us. But can you imagine if everybody found that right at the beginning?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that the difference? And people say to us all the time, how can we stop this? How can we stop this usually? But this has got to stop. How can we stop this? Well, you can stop sending money. Because even if you talk to somebody, even if you get involved with somebody and you talk to somebody, why would you send money? And I can say this as from a position of a widow who's been on her own a very, very long time. And I wouldn't send anybody money. They could be in hospital getting their leg cut off, and I would not send anybody money because I wouldn't believe that they actually needed money. Don't know what they're doing. Doing something. So, people say to us, I've stopped getting comments. Are we still live?
Yeah. I just had someone Liz is looking to speak to me. So I asked her.
All right. So yeah,
So let's talk about, how about we talk about creating accounts, Facebook accounts for their internet lovers. That's been showing up a lot lately too. Oh, there you are, Liz. Hey.
There you
okay. Yeah. So creating accounts when your internet lover asks you to create them an account. The reason why they're asking you to do that is so that it's going to be difficult for anybody to get closed down, because it's created by a real person, and then of course they take it over and change the name, change the pictures, lock you out of it, and now they're going to scam innocent people with it. Please stop making accounts for your internet lover that you have not met.
Because the commander in Syria is not turning around and saying to them, I won't let you make a Facebook account. So your soldier is saying, well, my commander won't let me do it. So can you do it for me, please?
Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, that one account is going to hurt a lot of people. A lot of people.
And it's the same with, the eternal bank account. Can I have your bank account because I want to put some money in? Can I have your credit card? I want to put some money in. Because if you're going to scam somebody for $10,000, sending them $500 to pay for the credit card bill, which they often do, that means nothing to them. Nothing at all. So, we've already had it, Sharon. Special mission, undercover in Afghanistan.
Yep.
So undercover that they're walking down the streets of Kabul, texting you. So it is bad for the men. It is bad for the girlfriends. It is bad. These ladies have to be made of tough stuff because they get some abuse. They
I
get some
wish they would just stop answering these strangers that were coming after them. I think the men, the women, everybody should just put a block up and not deal with it, because it's shameful and it's hurtful. And this is, as long, these scams are not going anywhere. They are not going to stop.
No, because it's too easy. If you think about it, if you think about, you know, they'll bleat and say, "Oh, it's so poor, I'm so poor, and Nigeria is such a bad place because, you know, our politicians don't make any jobs for us." Well, go out and find yourself a job, you lazy bear. They're not going to come to the door.
No.
You know, we live in poverty. Well, try cleaning up. I mean, they'll send you a picture of the area, and quite honestly, if this swept it, it might look a bit better. But you know, they're saying all of this. But if you got a job where sitting on your little backside with your phone and your laptop, which have been stolen, and you can make on average $20,000 a week, are you going to go out and get a job in a shop?
Not a chance. Not a chance. The money is too good, and then the power is too good. It feels good, and they ask, they shall receive. You know.
I looked at it. I watched a thing on NTV, Catfish, this morning, and they'd said they were talking to a scammer, and they said to him, "How many people have you contacted?" And he said, "Hundreds." Mm-hmm. And the next question they asked him, and I fully believe this, that he was telling the truth. They asked him, "And how many of these hundreds actually paid you money?" And he said, "Most of them."
Oh, yep. Yep.
And I believe that.
I believe them. I do. Even if it's $50, it's still I mean, I've got so many victims that say that their loved one is sending $150, $200 or more every single month. It's like a regular bill that they pay, a utility bill. They pay the scammers every single month. It's sad. Yep. It's really sad.
We had somebody a while ago, and he was a Nigerian. He was living in Dubai, and he had six ladies from Poland. He must have only wanted to do, you know, the one lot of Google Translate, because he had six ladies from Poland. Each of these six ladies was sending between $500 and $2,000 a month.
Can you imagine? I mean, I don't even barely get that a month. You know? Can you imagine times six?
Yeah, he was one of my very, very favorites, because after I'd finished with these six ladies, he got nothing. I talked to all six with the help of some of the others. One or two of them were a bit, I don't know. All six he wanted to marry. And in the end, I got the money stopped from all six. And you know what he did? He contacted me and he said, "Thank you for cutting off my golden vein. You've killed me."
Yay! Party time.
Yeah, that was one of the best things I've ever done. Stop paying money, ladies, please. I don't care what the money is for. I don't care if they're asking you to apply for leave for him. Say no to the money. I'll apply for leave for you, but I'm not paying for it. Your child's in hospital. Well, I'm sure there's charity or something you can go to the embassy. I'm very sorry for you, but I'm not paying you money. People pay their mobile bill for them. I think they probably get that paid 6 times. And I know women in this country, Sharon, who have taken out mobile phone contracts for African scammers, and they're paying for them every month. Mm-hmm. And these scammers are doing things like sort of international calls, and they're paying £1,000 a month for them, and they moan about it, but they still do it. Wrong. It's all wrong. Stupid. So don't. But let's have a, he's pestering me for my WhatsApp number, Julianne. Okay. If it's Felipe, I assume it's my little Felipe, who's, Man Mountain Felipe. Now, he's a scammer. 1, he's a scammer. My question is, why are you talking to him? 2, pestering. There should be no pester. There should be no pester. He wants your number, block him. You can block him. So
it's as simple as that. It is as simple as
now. How many people do we get coming to us who didn't block?
All the time.
Who come to us and say, "My phone's hacked.
Yep.
My Facebook's hacked. My WhatsApp's hacked. My bank is hacked."
Because they don't
Because,
understand the fact that these people are dangerous. They're not listening.
no, they played with the little scammer. Now, it's not very nice on Felipe because he doesn't like his pictures being sent all over the place. He doesn't give permission for that. So how the hell anybody dare do it? But I cannot feel sympathy for you, Julianne, and I don't like what you're doing because we're sat here, and all the other times when we're not sat here, we are online.
Mm-hmm.
And we're stopping people from getting scammed. We work on the page. We publish things. We do all sorts. And, hang on. And we get people saying, he's asking for my WhatsApp number. Well, you know.
Piss off. Seriously, what? This kills me. People always say, "What? I'm being threatened. I'm being harassed." He keeps harassing me.
Shouldn't harass them the first time.
You just cut them off. Cut them off. Literally, they can't
And
harass you.
the thing is, they will try and get your attention. So they'll try one day and they don't get your attention. So 2 days later, you know, they'll try. Then you know they'll try again. Now you pick up the phone and say, "Oh dear, go away, please," or words to that effect. It doesn't matter. You can swear at them. You can be as awful as they like, but they've got your attention. They know they can pick you up at any time, so they'll leave it a few days, and then they'll do it again.
They do it again
because they have the power over you.
Yep.
And what is the ultimate power that you've got over a scammer, Pam?
What's
the
that?
ultimate power. What is the ultimate power that all these ladies have over a scammer? They can block them.
Giving them silence, giving them the one thing they cannot control. I mean, let's face it, when you're in a scam, you are being controlled. You are letting yourself be controlled. To take your power back, all you have to do is fall silent. That is the one thing scammers have no control over. Silence. It's just that easy. And I had a lady, it was a year, it had been a year since her scammer had contacted her. But then once you're in, I believe that once you are in and you've dealt with a scammer, you're there forever. They are there forever. And he contacted her after a year and it's like, "Hey, my love, I'm so sorry that it didn't work out with us. I really do apologize. It's been a long time. Could you just unblock me and let's discuss the refund?" The word refund is going to be the trigger reaction. He sent that out after a whole year's worth to get her to react. And I'm so proud that she didn't. She did not react. And that's what everybody needs to do. They will contact you over and over again. Why? Because they can. They're doing it for you to react to them. So don't do it. The second that you do, that's it. I'm talking to Jullo. Okay.
Mine had a South American accent. Now, I don't know whether you've heard this, Vicky, but I don't know whether you've heard an African trying to talk with an American accent. It comes out of South African because the nearest thing they can, and it's hilarious. I've got a few on the site where they've done a voiceover and they've tried to have an American accent, and it comes out of South American. And I've heard them do it, and it's hilarious, but it's not right. Now, some of them can speak very good English. Yes, they can. The sort of national language of Nigeria, for God knows why, it's part of the British Commonwealth, is English. Mm-hmm. Some of them, if they're a little bit more switched on, there is an app and a website called Grammarly. And if you put what you want to put, you know, if you type something out, put it in Grammarly, Grammarly will turn it round.
Yep.
So they're right for you. I mean, Grammarly is actually there for students who are doing university dissertation things, so they get the grammar exactly right. But of course, scammers love it because it helps them. So it's not, I mean, something I just put on today, and it was, the English was fine all the way through this document. And on the end, it had, "Please send the money today. I'm sorry to put you to this incontinence." Instead of inconvenience. The lady, however, we can laugh, the lady was not English. She did not have English as a first language. So if anybody sent me a document that was in Russian, I wouldn't just sign it. I would get it checked out in some way. Mm-hmm. Now, UK number and USA number. There are virtual numbers. There are, look it up. Look at Google Voice, look at Text Now, look at
They're disposable numbers that you don't pay for. They're free. They're free.
You register them, and so you can you could do it if you wanted to. I can do it. I can go on there. I can register a number if I want to make it look like I come from Florida. So
Right.
I could register a Florida number, and I could phone Pam, and she would. The number that I register would come up on Pam's phone, and Pam would think, "Oh, there's somebody from Florida calling me." You can do it for the UK. I think you can do it for Germany and France.
That's the internet for you. I mean, you can get just about any kind of setup.
You know, so the telephone number is no guide at all to where they are. Not at all. Because they are virtual numbers, they are online numbers. But you look this up and have a look and see what I mean, because they are worth looking at, because you need to know all these things.
Yeah.
You know?
But however, let's just make a big campaign, a big pack, and just say no to strangers. Let's just stop talking to strangers. That would be so much easier. It really would. Stop talking to strangers.
Because I've got no respect for somebody saying, he's trying to get my WhatsApp number. He's trying to get me to go to Hangouts. He's trying to get me to send some money. I've got no respect for that. Because you're asking for it yourself. Yep. You basically are, you're asking for it. You're going to come to us and say, but I don't know what happened. He hacked my Facebook. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you were talking to him.
Yep.
And, you know, you were talking to him and you told him your dog was called Scooby-Doo. And he decided to have a little try to see if he could guess what your password was. And never guess what. Your password was Scooby-Doo 7 or something. And he got in.
Yeah.
And then they come and whinge to us. Oh, he hacked my account. Well, I'm sorry. If you'd said no, he couldn't have hacked your account, could he?
Yeah. These people are smart and dangerous. They are. I don't want to give them too much credit, but on the side of the internet and the technical side, they're quite smart. They really are. They don't have anything else to do but sit on, do their research and teach and train each other. So, you know,
if you want to do anything, you know, if you want to knit a jumper, you can knit a better jumper when you've knit 10. Mm-hmm. And you've found out anything that you do and you practice at, you get good at. Yeah. You do and you study and you get good at. Some of these people are not educated, but they're streetwise, and I'm sure you know yourself, you get gangs on streets, you get drug dealers, and they have very little education, but they're streetwise.
Yeah.
And they know the law of the streets, and you know, that's how they do it. And a scammer is no different. He's just streetwise, who's charming until you cross it. And then you find out he's not quite so charming.
So we have about 12 minutes to go, 13 minutes to go. So you had mentioned that you didn't want to do your singles anymore, that you don't want to do your Thursday anymore. You just want to do the weekend, and do you want to do...
Because I think I'm too boring for people to listen to.
Silly woman.
I'm not going to do my single ones anymore. I'm just going to do with...
I want to stick in. I think it might be good if we come up with like a Q&A question and answer session for my Tuesday or Wednesday, whichever it ends up being. I was thinking, so wanting to know from the audience. So if I made a post and had you ask questions, anything at all, just ask anything that you want to know about scams. Would you want to do that? I would think that would be pretty cool to have other people ask questions of us and we can answer them, read them and answer them the best that we possibly can. And if we don't know the answer, then we'll get the answer. But I would like to try to do that for everybody.
It is better on here than it is on Facebook. I don't like the one.
You don't like Facebook?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I had a lady, and I remember her very, very well. And it was the one of the first Christmases I ever did this. And she'd been talking to a scammer, and on Christmas Eve, and she'd met him the Christmas before, and it was a full year and a day. And that was the first time he asked her for money. And she was shocked, but he didn't get it, which was good.
I always say, don't I always say, scammers don't work for free. You got to pay the bill. What's the bill? Your money or their money. Either you pay them your money or you got to provide some sort of services. That's what this is all about, money.
But also we know that again, and I should have said this at the beginning, put in your head a group of Nigerians sat in a room. Hello, Jerry. Group of Nigerians sat in a room. So you've got half a dozen of them. So each one of them is scamming maybe, 50, 60, 70 women.
Yep.
And sucking them around.
I'm a busy man.
Getting an awful lot of money. They will only ask for money once they are 100% sure you're going to send.
Yep.
They're not going to waste that time. But they can afford to keep people on hold.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if they lose a couple and they need some money next week, well, let's ask the one we've been talking to for months.
Yep.
You know? So anyway, I'm going to go and I'm going to leave you with Pam, and thank you very much, Hollywood.
I'll see if I can get her back. We'll see about that.
Yeah, I had a bit of a crisis of confidence on Thursday night, and you know, I just felt that I was boring. Anyway, never mind. I didn't say that for people to say that I'm not, because I know what I am. So so I'll see you all next week, and Pam will see you on Tuesday. Goodbye, everybody.
So that's what I'm going to do on Tuesday. I thought I'm going to make a post, and then anybody that has any questions about scams, let's go ahead and you put your question out there, and then I'm going to read it and answer it. On this Tuesday, I was going to talk about interventions, because I really do enjoy doing family interventions to try to get that person unstuck, get them out of the scam. But I thought about it, and I really can't talk too much about the interventions because the scammers are watching, and I don't want to give away my secrets and my tips. So I think I'm going to come up with a different topic for Tuesday. So we'll start out, maybe if you guys have some questions for me, I'll answer those. And then most likely I'll probably go back to the dating conversations about how to do it safely. I don't think I can say that enough. You know, I know that people are out there wanting to look for somebody, and it is possible, but you got to stick to the plan. You got to stick to a very hard set of rules to do. And then I believe that it's possible for you to find somebody. So I'm going to make a post today, and I'll go ahead and look for your questions. I'll read them out. I'll come back on Tuesday, and then also talk more about the dating. So if you want to ask me more questions, for all those that are out there on the dating sites wanting to find a mate, then I've got some ideas and tips. And then anybody that needs an intervention, meaning your family member or your friend, your loved one is stuck, I'd be more than happy to try to help you out. I just need a little bit of information from you. So do that, and then we'll see what we can do for you. Other than that, this is a holiday weekend, so be safe. Hopefully we can help some people to get out of a really horrible situation. And take care, be safe, and we'll see you next time. See you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.